Welcome to the second episode of Govind Gita, the podcast where Bhagavad Gita's ancient wisdom meets the modern world. This is Aniket Amdekar, your host, and today we are going to talk about books. Today we are going to talk about how to choose the right book for you so that you can start reading Bhagavad Gita. There are different ways in which we consume books these days. Many of my friends say that, hey, I don't want more paper in my house. I read everything on my Kindle. Okay? That's certainly one school of thought. Then there are those who like the presence of the physical books in their house. And they like that physical proximity, that tangible presence of the book with them. In today's episode, we will look at different kinds of books and how to choose the right book for you. Now, when you are trying to read Bhagavad Gita, what is it that you should have at the least in every book? Let me give you a quick list, alright? It needs to have all the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita in the Sanskrit font. If you are somebody who knows how to read Sanskrit, then this is going to be really helpful for you. But if you are someone who does not know how to read Sanskrit, maybe you have not learned Sanskrit and you are from a different country. In that case, there are books available where the shlokas have been transliterated into English along with the right enunciations. You can refer to those and learn to chant the shlokas. This is also where I would say that along with the book, using any of the online formats to have a audio version of that shloka will help you, because many words are new, and in order to pronounce those words in the right way, you need to have an example with you. So number 1 is shlokas. Number 2, the meaning of that shloka. The meaning of the shloka could be in English, it could be in any language, but the shloka and its meaning. Number 3, in an ideal book, what would happen is that words will be separated. In the Sanskrit language, what happens is that words get joined together and they seem like a big word. But when you separate them, at that time it becomes really easy. And this is called as sandhi when you join the words. When you separate them, it's called vigraha. So you need to have the vigraha of the words as well with you so that you are able to understand the individual words. So shloka, meaning, and the separation of the words. I would also look for an example or maybe an elaborated description or an elaborated meaning of that shloka. If all these things are present, then I am all sorted. Now, Gorakhpur Press is known for producing and printing one of the most authentic series of spiritual books in India. And which is why when we start the discussion about Bhagavad Gita books, I'm going to get started with the first book, which is the Srimad Bhagavad Gita Sanskrit text with Hindi and English translation. And this is what the cover looks like. If you look at the width, it's a really tiny book. Now, when you look at the individual chapters in this book, I'm looking at the second chapter right now, and I can see Sanjaya Uvacha. And then I have the actual Sanskrit shloka. I have the meaning of that shloka in Hindi and the meaning of the shloka in English as well. So for every shloka, there are 3 things available in this book. So what does it not have? It doesn't have a detailed, elaborated description about each of the shlokas. But then, if you are somebody who is already well versed with the different shlokas of Gita and wants to have a quick reference guide, this could be a really good book for you. Or you are someone who does not read a lot of books. A book which is of this kind of thickness scares you. In that case, this could be your tiny companion. You read the shloka, you read the meaning, and you go to the next shloka. And then, in between that, you come to Govind Gita and we discuss the meaning of these different shlokas. So, this was my first recommendation for you. This is Srimad Bhagavad Gita by Gita Press Gorakhpur, and this book costs, can you guess, rupees 35. And I got this from a local bookstore in Bangalore. Okay, let's now go to the next book. The next book I have got is called Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and this is published by the Grapevine India Publishers Private Limited from Delhi and from Mumbai. It looks something like this. It comes in a red velvet kind of a cover. It has a really good texture to it. When I look at the individual pages of this book, I find that it has got the Sanskrit text, the actual shloka. Then it has the English meaning, and it goes to the next one. So this book has two things, the shloka and the English meaning. It doesn't have the Hindi or the other languages translation. But again, this is a book which has those English meaning, and I'm sure it may have other variations as well. You can find this book in your nearest bookshop as well. And I think this is a really good book to keep in your bookshelf. It's a great book because it gives you that divine feeling. It gives you that feeling of purity. If you want to keep a texture, if you want to keep a Bhagavad Gita book, maybe at the place where you work, at your desk, this would be a great book to keep at your desk. Because when you are facing some challenges, you can quickly open the book, go through some of the shlokas. So this was the second book from the Grapevine Publishing. Let me now go to the third book. And among all of these, I have found this book quite interesting. This one is written by Ed Vishwanathan, and the name of this book is Amazing Secrets of the Bhagavad Gita. This is what the book looks like. Now, the way this book has been structured is very unique. Instead of going in the chronological manner, you start from the first adhyaya, then the second, the third, and we go to the 18th adhyaya. Instead of going in that chronological manner, we go in a different manner here. This book denotes a conversation between a grandfather and a grandchild. The grandchild is really curious about so many questions that are currently riddling the mind of this child. Questions like, what is the Bhagavad Gita? Where does the Bhagavad Gita appear in the Hindu scriptures? Does Lord Krishna mention heaven and hell in Bhagavad Gita? And there are many such questions here. In fact, it has a really nice table which gives you a quick description of all the adhyayas as well. So if you are somebody who likes to chant all the shlokas, then this book is not for you. But if you are someone who has a lot of questions and has a lot of curiosity about Gita, then this is the book for you, because it will try to answer so many of your questions. Which is why the third book that we have is Amazing Secrets of the Bhagavad Gita. This book costs 395 rupees and it is published by Rupa Publications. All right, let's now look at the big picture. What if you are somebody who likes to really go in depth into every shloka, analyze its meaning, apply it to your life, and look at more examples? That's when you look at a book something like this. This is by far my total favorite book on Bhagavad Gita. It is called Sadhak Sanjeevani. I repeat, Sadhak Sanjeevani. Sanjeevani, as you remember, is the magical jadi booty, the magical herb which was able to revive Lakshmana when he was hit with a dangerous power in the Ramayana. Then Hanuman had flown all the way to Kashmir, and from the mountains of Himalaya he had gotten the Sanjeevani. But Sanjeevani is also a metaphor. If you want to revive yourself, you need a Sanjeevani. If you are a sadhak, if you are somebody who is on the journey of studying the scriptures, in the study of Adhyatma, in that case, this is going to be your Sanjeevani. The, the format of this book is really good because it doesn't directly start with the chapters. At the beginning of this Adhyayas, there is a precursor text that provides you with a lot of context as to what kind of scriptures are present in the Indian scriptures. In all of those, where does Bhagavad Gita stand? Why are we talking about Gita itself? All of these are being covered before the actual chapters begin. When you actually start looking at the individual chapters, this is what the chapters look like. So we have the shlokas. For every shloka, the words have been separated. The vigraha has been done. And you also get to see the Hindi meaning of those shlokas. Now, this book is available in Hindi, Marathi, and a lot of other Indian languages as well, along with English as well. So, each of the shloka has been separated into individual words and the meaning of those words. For example, I am looking at the 11th shloka from the second adhyaya, where it says Ashochanan ashunchastvam pradnyavadanscha bhashasa gatasunscha nanushocanti panditaha. For the shloka, what are the different words involved? Tvam, which means you. Ashochana, that means something which is not worthy of doing or worrying about. Anvashochaha, but you are doing the worry about that. Cha means and. Pradnya vadan which means you are speaking like a pandit. So as you see, each and every word has been elaborated. Then we get to see a detailed description. For this shloka, I have got 1, 2, 2.5, almost 3 pages of description only on one shloka. And that's the kind of depth that you see in this book, which is Sadhak Sanjeevani. Let me now introduce you to a Marathi book that I have been studying for a long time, and it's called Jnaneshwari. The picture of this person that you see here is Saint Jnaneshwar. He is the one who has written this commentary on Bhagavad Gita, and it is called Jnaneshwari. It's written in Marathi, and in a very simple language, he explains the shloka and the meaning behind every shloka with a lot of examples. So, my dear friends, so many of these books we just discussed. But when you are trying to read these books on your Kindle, then what happens? Are actually available in the Kindle format as well. The Sadhak Sanjeevani I was showing you just now is also available in Kindle. I have it on my Kindle as well. And many a times when I'm traveling and I can't carry this big book with me, my little Kindle helps me to carry my entire library with me. So, whether you want to read it and whether you want to have a tangible copy of the book or you want to read an e-copy, whichever way it is, the shlokas remain the same. Now, Bhagavad Gita consists of 18 adhyayas. These 18 adhyayas have around 700 shlokas. And each of these adhyayas have got their own theme as well. Our journey together while studying Bhagavad Gita. In the next video, we are going to hear some stories. The story of Mahabharata. Because the first adhyaya is the setup which really helps you to understand how it all got started. When we meet next time, we are going to go in depth of the Mahabharata story and understand how it leads to this conflict where Bhagavad Gita is getting started. I hope you liked this segment and found it useful, found it helpful when you are going to choose your book. After watching this video, if you have chosen a book, please feel free to leave a comment and let us know which book you are reading. Now, what I have shown you here is just a glimpse. There are just 3 to 4 books here. On Bhagavad Gita, there are thousands of books available. So I'm quite sure that you will be thinking, hey, Aniket, you didn't talk about my favorite book. And I'm sure that must have happened. In that case, I would love to hear about your favorite book. If you have a favorite book on Gita, share that with us in the chat section as well. Now, I look forward to meet you again in the next episode. And at that time, we go storytelling. See you soon. This is Aniket Amdekar signing off from Govind Gita. Thank you.